Hello and welcome. I am Exelite and this is my channel. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk about a 180 million year old sea dragon that has emerged from the mud and revealed one of Britain's largest fossil reptiles. I find this interesting and frightening, and I don't like water. So keep that in mind. We don't know what's down there. If you would, if you're interested in things like this, scientific things, historical things, I'm shaking this channel up a little bit. It's all going to be interesting, scary-ish, or a lot scary, um, historical scariness and weirdness, and just adding some subjects that I am also interested in. So, if you would like that and you're interested in that, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Please, very much please, give this video a thumbs up. I always feel like I'm begging for this, but please give this video a thumbs up. You don't know how much that helps the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. So let's go, shall we? When Joe Davis was walking across a drained lagoon island at Rutland Water Nature Reserve in February 2021, he did not dream that his life was about to change. He noticed something strange jutting from the clay when he went to look. Davis is a conservation team leader for the Rutland Wildlife Trust and had recovered whale and dolphin scales before, and the shapes in the mud, they looked familiar. He alerted specialists, and what followed confirmed one of the most significant paleontological finds in British history. This specimen stretches over 38 feet long, its skull alone weighing at least a ton. Researchers have tentatively identified it as Temnodontosaurus trigonodon, a large body species previously known mainly from Germany and France. If that identification holds, once the fossil is fully cleared and prepared and cleaned, it will also mark the first confirmed record of this species in Britain, extending its known geographic range across a significant stretch of the ancient Jurassic Sea. So, you probably won't be surprised to know that this discovery drew immediate attention from the scientific community. Paul Barrett, who is a researcher at the National History Museum in London, described this Rutland Ichthyosaurus as probably one of the largest reptiles ever found anywhere, period, including among dinosaurs. Dr. Dean Lomax said the Ichthyosaurus, which he specializes in, and he led the excavation, called it one of the greatest finds in British paleontology history. What ichthyosaurus were and how they lived. Ichthyosaurus were marine reptiles that lived alongside the dinosaurs. They first appeared around 250 million years ago in the Triassic period and survived until roughly 90 million years ago. Despite resembling a dolphin's body in its shape, they were not related to any marine mammal. Like whales, their ancestors had originally lived on land before returning to the sea, which means they breathed air throughout their lives, surfacing as modern cetaceans do to this day. They are thought to have been warm-blooded and ranged across both coastal waters and the open ocean. Fossil evidence, including specimens preserved with stomach contents still intact, show that the ichthyosaurs fed heavily on fish and squid. Larger species, such as Temnodontosaurus, could reach up to 39 feet in length. If you're sitting in your house, look at the room you're in. Is the room you're in even 39 feet in length? And even scarier, Some ichthyosaur species grew to an estimated 82 feet in length, making some of them the largest predators the oceans have ever seen. Now go stand outside of your house. Is your house 82 feet in length? This Rutland specimen dates to approximately 181.5 to 182 million years ago, a date established through microfossils analysis of the surrounding clay matrix by researchers at the University of Birmingham. That places it within the Tertian stage of the early Jurassic period, a time when a warm, shallow sea covered what most of it is now central England. Britain has produced ichthyosaur fossils for over 200 years, beginning with Mary Anning's discoveries along the Jurassic coast in the early 1800s, but no specimen has been found in the country that has even come close to the size of this one. Davis was doing a mundane chore. He was draining a lagoon at Rutland Water for routine landscaping work when he came upon this dragon. He photographed the exposed vertebrae and suspected jawbone. Then he contacted paleontologists who confirmed that the remains belonged to a large ichthyosaur. A formal excavation followed in August and September of 2021. The team was led by Dr. Dean Lomax, who was a visiting scientist at the University of Manchester, who has named 5 new ichthyosaur species alongside paleontological conservator Nigel Larkin and marine reptile specialist Dr. Mark Evans. Additional members came from the Horniman Museum, the Peterborough Museum, and the Open University, working methodically through Jurassic clay. The team uncovered a skeleton that was almost entirely intact. But lifting the fossil required considerable engineering. The team encased the bones in wooden splints and plaster of Paris jackets before removing them in sections. The block holding the 2-meter skull alone weighed about a ton once the surrounding clay and casing were factored in, while the body section added roughly another ton and a half. In total, the specimen exceeds 2 tons. The find was significantly larger than 2 fragmented ichthyosaurs discovered from the same reservoir during its construction in the 1970s. Once it was removed, this specimen was transported to a research facility where conservation and preparation work is ongoing under the supervision of Nigel Larkin. As the Natural History Museum reports, the Rutland specimen ranks as the most complete skeleton of any large prehistoric reptile ever recovered in the UK, a distinction that extends beyond ichthyosaurs to include Britain's dinosaur finds. Its size and near completeness together place it in a category of its own among large fossil vertebrates found in this country. A follow-up field visit in August of 2022 recovered additional material at the site, including ammonites, belemnites, nautiloids, and vertebrae from other ichthyosaurus individuals. The team also identified the first remains of a Thalattosian crocodilomorph at Rutland Water, now referred to informally as the Rutland crocodile, as noted in the excavation reports. Microfossil analysis indicates that at least 3 Jurassic ichthyosaur species are preserved in sediments at this reserve. The density of fossil material alone suggests that Rutland Water sits over an area that was ecologically significant during the early Jurassic, when the region lay beneath a warm, shallow sea. Researchers are continuing to study the invertebrate fauna that was also recovered alongside the ichthyosaur to reconstruct the broader marine environment of the site. The biostratigraphic data narrows the specimen's age to about 182.5 million years ago, placing it within the largest part of the early torsion stage. The next phase of the project requires funding for a 24 to 36-month program to remove the plaster field jackets, prepare and conserve the skeleton fully, and mount it for permanent display. Anglian Water and its partners are pursuing heritage funding to ensure that this specimen remains in Rutland, where it laid undisturbed for 180 million years before Davis accidentally crossed that lagoon.